these heroes which, like, the whole point about Dazzle being there with the Slider is you can give Slider the license to dive. And you just completely overcommit. And with a Tree as well as a Dazzle, you kind of got that as well. But you've also got the ability with Tree to gank because of the Leech Seed. So you can slow these heroes down, you hold them back, and then you just pound on top of them. So what they need most importantly out of their next 3 heroes is control. Poison is one thing, Leech Seed is another, but they need stuns, they need lockdowns, and they need burst damage to come with all of that. Now, if you can give me a hero that does all of that, ROX.KIS go and pick it up. I'm thinking Lion off the top of my head, but I don't know if Solo really wants to go that solo mid. And Veno now comes in for Fnatic. This also doesn't reveal anything about our lanes. Because Fnatic, normally when they do this kind of stuff, they can run Wisp and Slider in the middle lane, they can run Trixie's off lane Veno, or support to be played up by Fly, like was in the last game.
Right.
So yeah, they're very, very open for their pickups right now. I think ROX.KIS can predict any lanes.
I actually like the Darkseer has not been a hero that has been in the meta at all of late. You see him very, very rarely, but I think that was actually a pretty smart ban. They're banning out the strong offlaners, right? Taking away the Timber Saw, just a really strong laner in general, but also the Darkseer off of that vacuum into a Slardar stun is actually really, really powerful. So I think that was smart. If they could take away the offlaners that have really good shot at being able to pick up a decent amount of golden experience, because that's the other thing. When you run a Wisp, if you have a really, really strong offlane, you just decimate the mid game. Because you actually have a good offlaner to be able to set up a lot of your team fights and then have the relocate follow that up. So when it comes to ganking, when it comes to forcing team fights, a good offlaner is actually really essential for picking up a wish strat. So ROX.KIS banning that out, I'm good with that. Meanwhile, Fnatic take away the Luna, right, standard. And Clinks as well. Clinks is an interesting ban out, but his good amount of movement speed and his Orchid pickup could be kind of devastating. He's a very good Wisp hunter.
We'll see if Fly's going to share your insights right now. Reminder too, guys, we have 2 more codes to come out from Dota 2. Why am I pointing to a camera with 2 fingers?
I don't know. You were talking to the camera earlier.
I know. I do that every now and then. It's just really funky. But we got 2 more codes to give away for Dota 2 Lounge. So big shout out to those guys, and make sure you do bet your res. They are supporting the Dota 2 Champions League. So get yourself over to Dota 2 Lounge /giveaways. That's with a .com before that, and claim one of the codes. The last codes will be given out at the end of this game. Even if there's a 3rd game, we'll give them out at the end of this game. So I'm going to put mine over on Toby1Dota, which is my Twitter, and Cap is your Facebook now, I think, which is all
up. Facebook.com/DotaCapitalist.
There you go. So if you're following those places, at the end of this matchup, you will get one of your rare codes pumped out there and see how quick you are on the fingers. And of course, you can always go in and support this competition as well. If you're looking to, let's say, get something for free, it's more you give the players. You support the players out there by buying one of the D2CL tickets from inside the Steam store. You actually commit. That's not the word I want to say. You contribute. It starts with a C, just ends with something very different. $2.50 USD for every single ticket which you purchase will go into the prize pool, and we keep updating this one. And of course, as you're listening to AC's voice before, we have the set goals which we're trying to hit. So we want more fun competitions which can also be done. And if we hit the big one, we decide where the LAN event is for next season. So yeah, awesome stuff to come our way. And it looks like we're almost finished the draft with Night Stalker now coming up here for ROX.KIS. So one of Solo's classic style heroes, and Fnatic, they're running the Doombringer, so it looks like we're going, well, we could still be doing anything with this. It will be Era on Slider, but knowing Night Stalker's in the mid, there's no reason why you can't run Slider in the mid lane either.
I really like the Night Stalker pick because Doom was picked up specifically to counter out the Weaver, to try and control him, take him out of team fights. He's relatively squishy. However, he's having to deal with Treant Protector, who's going to be able to throw down that living armor. It's actually a really good counter to Doom. It soaks up a lot of that damage. And whoa, we're still going to see a Tiny. All right.
Wait, what?
All right. So
hang on. So off lane Doom, mid lane Slider to bounce up against Night Stalker, and then you still run Wisp. Because whenever Fnatic run Wisp Tiny, it's on the safe lane every time.
Right.
The only other option is they go aggressive tri-lane with a Venomancer. That's the only other option.
I think you're still on the dot there. Venomancer, Slardar in the mid, Venomancer with the Doom, just like they did last time.
5 seconds
it seemed to work out pretty well for their off lane. And you don't have really aggressive supports. That's a lot of slow coming out from Dazzle and Tree and Protector, but not a whole lot of nukes. So the heal over time from Scorched Earth will be able to help Doom out a lot against that lane. The biggest thing is for ROX.KIS. Now that they see there's a 3-core lineup, pick up some really aggressive heroes. So Nightstalker was supposed to give Weaver a lot of room. Now you have as well. To just try and control your lane, win the laning phase, get Weaver get some really early control of the map. That way they can't hunt down the Weaver. Weaver picks up a fast Lincoln, starts turning that into a Desolator, and they control the game well enough to turn into towers. The big problem is they don't have initiation and they don't have pushing power. So much of ROX.KIS is going to be on winning lanes. If they don't win their lanes, I don't see much of a hope for them against a tiny Doom, Slardar. Like, that's enough mid-game that you can actually easily, and then you turn that into a late-game Tiny, a late-game Slardar and Doom. That's very, very scary to go up against.
Yeah.
Prepare for battle.
I'm with you on that one, man. I just want to see how they roll this out. So what do we got? We're talking about Veno and together. And we're actually going to run off-lane Slardar.
Okay.
It's going to be a dual lane mid with Veno as well as Tiny. And then No Tail and Trixie up on the top lane. Now, this is going to change around because Fly is also moving up north. And No Tail's coming out here with 1 Observer Ward. So I think he wants to put a defensive Observer Ward up here on the top lane and then join Era in middle lane. Okay, they're screwing up. They're going exactly what we thought they're going to from the very, very start. It's flying with Doom off lane, it's Wisp and Era in the middle lane, and then the safe lane Trixie, Doombringer, which puts BZZ down here in the bottom lane, being supported by Godblack, but Godblack supports everybody. Seedoy will be the Weaver in the off lane, with Yol babysitting him the entire time, and that puts Solo as the bottle rushing Night Stalker in the mid lane.
Yeah, I suppose there is enough early game with the Venomancer that if you get a good Gale, you're actually kind of threatening. So ROX.KIS are going to have to, they can't just get overly aggressive with their tri-lane and beat him down. However, they're also going to be putting up, the question is, where is this Viper going to be at? Well, he's going to be bottom, and that's going to be bad news for Hani. That's really bad news for Hani.
Yeah, this basically means that Hani can't come in close, and do they change their lanes up? Like, Viper and Venomancer can go head-to-head against each other. And maybe Fly can harass him out, but it kind of relies him to get Poison Sting at level 1 and not go into the Gale, just to try and keep Viper down. Force him to burn through those consumables before Viper is really ready to fight anywhere else. While in middle lane, this dual lane where Yol's kind of ended up, it's going to be an interesting battle up as well. Solo's done a great job. He just pulled this creep wave up the hill by attacking directly towards No Tail and Eerie, grabbing the aggro, pulling it up. A little bit too close towards his tower though, which is going to kick back now. But No Tail's purposefully taking the damage so then he can heal up Era.
Dazzle, there are very, very few supports who can actually do a really good job harassing in middle. Silencer is one of them because of his orb effect, but Dazzle's another good one because his animation is just so good. So he's going to be trying to harass No Tail a lot. The problem with this lane is No Tail just tethers up and tangos, and he's still going to be going for a fast bottle.
Yeah, he's going to have that 25. It's going to be easy with an avalanche on the Solo. They're trying to get the tower aggro to take on him, but it's not catching on. This is just this has been a very interesting start to the lane, but it's gonna really start to tip the balance out. Like, Solo gets his bottle, but Yol can't keep this kind of pressure up all the time. On Era they can. That's the power of running this middle lane. Normally when they do this, they do it with a Ricky Maru or some kind of other core style hero. Whoop, a little bit deeper inside the lane, inside the river. The ball's hit onto Yol and they get first blood here. Solo also not gonna have an easy time out here. He's got Void available, but No Tail's the one to draw first blood. The bottle's coming out, and I kind of think he's wishing he had boots with that too, but the boots will belong to the Tiny instead.
Power of a bottle in this middle lane, a fast
avalanche. There's going to be a toss-up as well. Throw him back into the Spirits, and the TP in. They instantly go onto Yol. It's just one to the next, He'll heal up, but it's going to do nothing. And if this bottle, like, No-Tail's going to fill it up in the bottom.
Yep.
That's why he's tethering down. He's coming to pick up the invis, and Fly is not letting it go. Tethered up, straight back into Era, and they've already got 3 kills on this mid lane. You want a bad start for a Night Stalker? How about having a death? How about having 2 on Yol?
Yeah, this is a really, really bad start for them. Looking at the other lanes, though, they were doing really well in CS. Right now, Weaver's 9-4 up against the Doom, who's 11-2, not bad. And the Viper's obviously getting complete free farm.
But he hasn't stopped Hani from getting these levels. Like, Hani still managed to find level 3.
Yeah. He keeps interrupting the pull, and his supports aren't strong enough to stop him by themselves. They're not big enough a threat. A Treant Protector and a Dazzle by themselves with Venom.
Avalanche, middle lane. You're going to toss him back. It's still on cooldown. Looks like it was already used. And the Spirits, they've also all connected onto Solo. All up on top lane, yeah, Trixie. He's being really whittled away. Kind of needs a regeneration aura up here and not just that ring of health. But Hani, he's about to sprint in middle lane. They're going to go again. Avalanche, it actually hits on Yol. They just bypass Solo. In fact, it's still going to be a double crush coming out from Hani. Back up now. And full treads have arrived for Era. We're 3 minutes in. Like, this is the way Fnatic love to play this. And if they want to, they may have took us to that great start. They like to actually skip the Asha on the Tiny and just rely on No-Tail, giving him the movement speed instead. So you run in there with a full Aghanim Scepter after getting just treads a magic wand if you have a good start. A little bit greedier, but it works. And Solo gets lucky. 4-minute rune, DD for him on the top lane. And he's already moving on top. Trixie, you're overcommitting. He's gonna get back to the tower right now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They just dive in this. Like, it is nighttime.
Only level 4 though.
But Trixie, Thunderclap, he lets it off. He's into the tree line at least, and now in comes Hani. There's already one crush on Cedo. Trixie trying to juke it around the tree line, but Weaver, Chikuchi will connect. It's kind of hoping that Dire Creep would kind of like block the path in for him, but Solo wants to go deeper. He's chasing down Hani. He'll have to use both Void as well as, actually no, wait, there's no Crippling Fear. Kind of forget, we're only 4 minutes in, he's only level 4. It's no silence available for him.
Yeah, if they had more teleports, I think they could have turned that in exchange for Doom's death, but who are you going to teleport? You don't want to move No-Tail or Era out of their lane right now. They're about to get their very, very crucial levels. Level 6 is going to be up pretty soon on No-Tail, and Era is about to get more levels into his combo, which makes him even scarier, so...
Yeah, too, we haven't seen any kind of involvement from Goldblack. And this is a guy with 2 points up in living armor. Like, it's been going out, but doesn't mean anything more than that. There's been no lead seek attempt ganks on this bottom lane that, well, at least I've been looking at. And Yol's too busy up here on the top lane. Just like Goldblack is pulling, farming, and being the unsung farmer. I'll say hero, but
yeah, definitely not hero.
He needs to save someone before he's a hero.
In fact, the pulling is kind of backed out on them. That's why the Slardar was able to pick up so many levels. It's because him and Venomancer just went into the jungle, and every single time they tried to pull, they would counteract it, pick up half the experience from mini neutrals that die, and grab all the experience for every single last hit on the creeps.
Oh, Fly might be in trouble. There's an ultimate out from BZD, and he's dead. The downside about running a Venomancer versus a Viper, one is a lot more venomous. And did they just deny up the rune? Yeah, he did. He left...
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
No-Tail grabbed something from top, which I don't think he did, but there's a Plague Ward just sitting on bottom lane, which I think denied the rune.
Yeah, he denied it.
Slider says hello to Cedoy. See him. Still says hello. And I like how Hani, like, even though this bottom lane, Fly ended up going down, it's because he was just slightly over-aggressive. But this is exactly what they do with Trixie a lot. Keep him on the tower, keep the Plague Wards up. You don't lose map control, and the only other primary thing you have to look for is farm on the other 2 cores. So Trixie farming up as the Doombringer on the top. He's about to hit level 7 too, which means 4th point Devour, even more money coming in, and Era's still farming up in the mid. So as far as Fnatic would see this, they're getting stacks, they're holding their towers, and they're getting farms on the core key changing heroes. Even if they're giving a lot of money to Viper, they have a lot of confidence in the back of a Wisp tiny relocate jump.
Yeah, Mech is going to be up soon for Viper, so they should turn that into the second nighttime is going to be the big play for ROX.KIS to really start controlling this game. If they don't turn this second nighttime into a lot of kills, with Viper and Night Stalker being very, very aggressive, they're going to have a really rough time. Because right now, Cedoy, he's picking up a decent amount of CS.
No tail.
But not
Can he solo this? Can he solo this with Spirits? Starts going on Goblak. Balls, balls, balls. Great Protector just got soloed up by a Wisp. Welcome to Relocate. that was just really bad timing. That's really, really bad timing for Goblak.
Now Night Stalker, like what happens if he wants to go and gank one of the side lanes? He's going to be counteracted by the relocate in.
And they're jumping in mid, not fast enough. Ira needs more movement speed. She's gone into drums. They didn't go into the Aghanim Scepter straight away. We get daytime.
Oh, nice regen, perfect.
Down on bottom lane. I thought it was for Night Stalker. Like, yeah, for Night Stalker for solo, would be great. But a regeneration for Notel, that's not perfect for a ROX.KIS fan. And Ira's already looking. He's already looking to go on a hunt. Because they've basically got a ticket to kill. When you have a regeneration like that, you don't care how much damage you're going to take. Notel's just going to dive himself in so deep to go with Ira, take the aggro away from the tower straight away, and buy them the space. But then with Yol coming in, regeneration, they can't use. They have to get themselves far enough away, and he tried.
The midi stuns.
And now the ulti will fly out. Avalanche is still on cooldown for 2 more seconds, but he'll get to the high ground in time. Got to turn, got to Avalanche. Slider's coming in, do the crush from the high ground. Avalanche in, 3 men on the crush, and now Notel. He bought back and then triggers off the regeneration. Unfortunately, he's not healing up Ira because he's taken little to no damage. So it doesn't really work for him right there.
Well, good save by the Slardar, with both him and Notel doing a good job keeping Ira alive, who's so important. His farm is the most important thing for right now for Fnatic. So they get a small little turnaround there. Just the mini stun from Poison stopped Notel from being able to get out with relocate. So
top tower is under attack.
Rough times for Fnatic, and Cedoy is taking that advantage to be able to push in this top tower, but he still is a long, long way away from one of the really, like, if you want to get a Weaver into the game really, really fast, you either try and, like, pick up a medallion, or you go and you pick up a lot of towers with a push strat. That way you kind of jumpstart that farm in order to get that first defensive item really early, allowing Weaver to farm really, really aggressively and pick up a Desolator shortly after that. However, they just don't have the pushing power. So even if they do win some of these smaller engagements, I'm not entirely sure how they're going to turn this into map control.
Yeah. And the Weaver can't go anything like Medallion or anything like that anyway. Yeah, because with Doom on the field, he has to go Lincoln, so there is no choice here. Harney's about to run him through behind the tower, so if they can, he doesn't have Amplify yet.
Oh, relocate bottom.
But if Trixie can get the Doom off, they're going to go on solo. Avalanche will connect. They're going to toss him back there, just up in the air, and then Fly can follow up with. Actually, he throws the ulti out, which coats over on top of Yol as well. Now, solo can be denied. I think they were very much considering it for one point. Nero wants to keep going in deeper. Like, he's right on top of Goldblack. Notel comes in. Now the Avalanche toss up, and they pick up the Treant Protector as well. Venomance is not looking too healthy. He's running away from Yol. Fly very, very low on life. He's got 6 wand charges. Going to deny himself up to Centaurs for now. Actually triggering up the wand charges, and Viper just comes. Probably shouldn't have used those wand charges. Well, Yol gets a ethereal beam tossed on his head, which appears to result in death. Now 9-5 for Fnatic. This was tiny combination. Just between the two of them, they've got 7 kills between the two of them, but I'm looking at 10 assists, 5 assists apiece, so yeah.
And they keep on going for more. Solos might be in a little bit of trouble.
Toss.
Living armor, he's going to be fine. But while that was happening, that whole entire team fight, they actually had 2 heroes top committed to try and kill the Weaver. He actually took Doom, but survived through it, thanks to good Shukuchi and juking into the jungle. So that was 3v4 going in at bottom. Fnatic still handedly won it.
It's not like this. They've managed to drag both Goldblack as well as Dazzle here into the middle lane, just to try and stop this kind of farming. But with Ira walking around with drums, wand charges, and full treads up and running, I don't think there is a way that even with the 3 of them they can kill him off. Not with Wisp and then able with relocate up as well. Ira can just walk over and pick up the point boost, but Viper, okay, this is the way they're going to do it. They're going to 5-man mid, drag the Viper up from
Yeah, they have to soon. I mean, how are you going to push into Venomancer wards and you know, all these things? Like, how are you actually going to start taking objectives against that? Well, you just got a 5-man into it.
But by 5-manning, you're going to run the risk of just getting everyone caught off. But if they can get initiation, Era comes in. It's on Notel. Is he going to relocate Era out of this one? He's already starting it up. Yep, they're taking Era out of this fight. And now the question is, do they bring in support? Because Fly is taking this tier 1 tower in the bottom lane in the meantime.
Dire's structures
These
are
halves moved into the
fortified.
middle lane, but there's fortification going up from the Dire
Dire's
side.
middle tower is
Radiant still
under
have
attack.
theirs, but Fly will take this tier 1
Radiant's
tower on bottom.
is under attack.
Era's going to come in. He's going to force them back out again. Avalanche is a little bit too short. Trixie is on the front lines. He's going to finish at the bottom tower, and now a little bit too close for the Viper. Doom will be cast out to him, and Era's running in. Tosses a bubble, throws Soul up into the air. Gale hits on top of Yol. Not really the best connection on that one, but either way, they keep on pushing in. Another Avalanche over on 2. God Black, there needs to be a toss, and they may as well do it right now on BZZ. Someone coming close. Yol's going to be the one in there. So Era, there's your toss. Nice stalker up. Yol, that was Shallow Grave himself up for now, and they managed to pick up the Wisp at least, but Era's another Avalanche of cooldown. Venomancer picks up the Dazzle in the middle lane, and then they move over towards the Viper. Sidoi might be in the middle of this fight with Solo, but Trixie still standing his ground. They finally did bring down the Tiny, but the Gale's over on Solo. It's still in level 1 though, so there's no tick-through damage coming through, and then Living Armor helps Solo to survive just long enough that they can get the 1 and 2 kill return on both Trixie and Fly in the mid, and Solo. He's
earn save.
He's earn up and running, so he'll be okay. But 12-10, Fnatic really committing into that fight.
Yeah, Fnatic just diving past tier 1 tower against a lineup like that. And top of that, they didn't even focus their damage, right? If they just focus their damage, take down the Viper while he's still doomed, or focus on killing the tree really quickly. Instead, they just spread their damage so much. The fight stretched out for so long that Weaver just destroyed all of them.
And that was, you were asking, how do you get the injection of gold into Weaver?
Yeah,
3 kills in the middle
perfect.
lane, and he's sitting there almost about to buy up his ultimate orb after having Perseverance. He's back on track, and whoops, there goes Wisp. Bottom lane, Era's going to TP himself out to safety before Solo can reach him. This really is a chance.
Oh, that was them relocating downwards.
They come on top. Doom. This time they'll kill a Viper. Fly. May as well gale him up to slow him. And commits the Veno ulti. Suppose the only way they feel they're going to get through him. And in comes Honey. Amplify, Crush. Commitment before any kind of support can TP him. But that support's over in middle lane, taking the tier 1 tower with the DD over on Night Stalker.
Well, things are looking a lot better for ROX.KIS. Fnatic are still taking a slight gold lead, but ROX.KIS have the momentum. They're taking map control. They still only took 1 tower off of that, though, and that's concerning.
They still have the other major problem. That Aghanim Scepter is arriving for Era shortly. I know what happens when that Aghanim Scepter comes in. Those fights that lasted for a very long time with the Weaver, it won't happen again. And with a creep camp to farm up, may as well avalanche the thing as well. Yep, there she goes. Because Notel's giving him the mana as well as the light points back again. But that just gave him an injection of money that brings him 1,200 gold away from the Aghanims.
What is Notel, or yeah, sorry, what is Fly go?
What does Fly go as his
Yeah,
Veno?
remember he was farming down there bottom for a very, very long time.
In this game, I would have even thought about a Vladimir's, but you may as well just put that over on the Wisp.
Dire's top tower
In this game, I'd almost want to see him go into an Orchid. They can't do that. No, it's going to be 4 stuff. It's going to be 4 stuff. They need ways to get away from the Viper once he throws the ulti.
Dire's top tower
That would be
has
a
fallen.
strong support item, but oh, we forgot about the mech.
Oh wait, isn't the mech going to be done by
It's
Notel?
not going to be done by Notel because Notel needs some survivability, and like mech gives you that, but I think you just would rather have flat stats. So it just means that Venomancer has to be
Dire's
with
top tower is under attack.
the Tiny Wisp combo at all times in a team fight.
Well, right now he's just trying to hold the top tower. And the TP will come in from Trixie, Mr. Vanguard Doombringer. And Notel as well as Era will be also moving up towards the top. But they see Gold Black rotating in. Avalanche too short. Gold Black turned around with this Observer Ward that they've got up on the high ground. They saw Notel and Era coming in. And they're just fake Wisp balls all across the map. Dazzle with the weave. Nice little way of bringing Notel's armor down to basically nothing. I want to finish this top tower out, but there's still too many plague wards on this ground.
Yeah,
they're all
they
level
can't
4.
actually initiate. Like, they can't take down the
Dire's
tower
top
quickly, and they
tower is
can't.
under attack.
They don't have a good way to initiate. So this whole entire time, Hani's just farming bottom.
Nortel's going to take the flight. They need to give this guy mana. They need an arcane boost or something. There's just not enough mana to keep these plague wards wall up, and the tower's going to go down. The plague wards focus on the tower trying to get a
Dire's
denial.
top tower has fallen.
To complete it, and Blink Dagger has now arrived on Hani. Yeah. So this is their trade-off. Hani had time to farm up the bottom lane. Still not going to call that much of a trade until the Aghanim Scepter is properly up on Hera, which is now 200 gold away, and with that now 130 gold away. It's not too bad for Fnatic's chances to come back in this game, but ROX.KIS are definitely in control of the map for now.
Yeah, I actually like Fnatic's chances a lot better here. Of course, I said the same thing about ROX.KIS last game, but Fnatic, I think they gauged that.
ROX.KIS are gonna win now.
Exactly. I think Fnatic gauged that and go, we can give away tier 2 because Blink Dagger is really, really important to us. We need initiation besides relocation. Relocation is not a strong initiating factor by itself. So if you have some sort of blink in stun, and that's exactly what a Blink Dagger on Slarda gives you. It gives you really good initiation for them to be able to follow up with things like the Doom, like relocate with Tiny, those sort of things. So they judge that as being important enough to have Hani continue farming that at bottom rather than be there for the team fight and try and contest. So, for example, bottom, he goes bottom right now. If he hits the stun, they relocate in.
He's going to find Gold Black. He's Gold Black, but he wants Viper. He wants Viper, not Gold Black, so he just blinks himself away. I think it's not really possible.
Yeah.
Viper's almost finished his Aghanim too. Now, this I don't really see having that much of an effect. Even though, like, obviously Aghanim is great with this kind of lineup. Jesus. Where's Relocate's coming? They're going to come in and try and go for Yol, but he already telegraphed himself. Trixie comes in as well. He got the Doom on Goblin, so there's no lead seed helping them to fight, but they've got to get this bug off Nortel before he dies from it, but it's already too late. Weave was right on top of him too. So Slardar as well go down, and this fight is not what they're searching for. And Weave and the bugs, and now Trixie TPing out. The stun's already gone, so he'll be able to survive through this at least. While Fly takes the tier 1 tower on top lane.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Bonnie just like, he already knew the Tree Protector was there, but then all of a sudden he rounds the corner and finds like 3 different heroes there. I think that was
crush.
a bit of a surprise. It was just like, oh, I was not expecting that many heroes. Now ROX.KIS is going to be able to take John, if Fnatic just, like, big problem ROX.KIS last game, they didn't do enough split pushing. If Fnatic just split push, avoid team fights, farm up, that sort of thing, stop making those big fatal errors, they can draw this whole entire game out pretty far, because if you don't have really strong pushing power, you're really susceptible to split push, because all that time you're committed to sitting 5-man onto one tower, you actually just end up trading to, you know, a Wiz Tiny or something like that. So as long as Fnatic do that, I think they're fine. I think they're still definitely ahead in this game, actually, despite that small blunder at bottom.
Yeah, I'm still with you on that way. I know the power of a Wisp Tiny. A jump in, you can take out towers. The only thing I've seen that's done it faster is a Wisp Luna. That was just ridiculous damage.
We should also mention Hani. Small interesting thing. Didn't actually max out Crush first.
Just went 4-point sprint, the 3-point Crush, and not a single point up in Bash.
Yeah, that like the no points in Bash before level 10 isn't that surprising, but 9 times out of 10 you're maxing out Crush first. He just really wanted that movement speed.
How much is the increase? Like 36% to 44. Yeah, Hani has always been rather finicky about these kind of things. He has a very set way of doing things. Blink Dagger now being purchased on the Doombringer, so this is now how they want to try and initiate. Trixie jumping in on the front lines. Not 100% sure about that, but at least it means he'll get the Doom off on the hero he wants to get the Doom off on.
Yeah, he's having a hard time getting onto the Weaver.
Well, this will do it for him.
Big target.
Jump him, and he goes actually on Goblak. So no ulti. In comes Era, Avalanche, toss. He just got the Shallow Grave off, but Goblak lockdown. Now pick him out while BZZ not looking healthy on life points either, but NoTel solo focusing him the entire time. He's lost 3 other heroes, and Era takes a triple kill. The tree was just swinging through. He's got a toss, he's got an avalanche, and he's got a tree. It's an ultra kill for Era.
Oh, the Aghanim's tiny.
It's
how
crazy.
things change. That was actually mainly just, I think, Trixie initiated, like, stopping Goblak from being able to get off anything in those fights. He's actually pretty important with Overgrowth. When you have 3 different melee heroes, Overgrowth is really, really bad to go up against. So that was smart, but also, like, Hani's initiation afterwards. The 2-man stun with Crush. At that point, the team fight was just over.
Yeah. NoTel now going to take a little bit of extra farm. They're farming up Ancients while Era directly off that fight. He bought Mana Recipe as well as Yasha. So he just needs the cash for the Ultimate Orb, and he almost got it. If they back up and then just farm up this next Ancient, he actually managed to basically pick up full Manta style within the space of 1 mid fight and 1 Ancient stack. A bad day's work. And ROX.KIS are already forcing this again. They want to come up mid. Doom is off cooldown in 18 seconds time.
Ooh, do you think that's a straight Deso coming out from Sidoi?
Dire's middle tower is
You
under
need
attack.
push, you need damage. It should be, it should be.
Yeah.
It kind of has to be. Without it, they're just going to get destroyed during the team fights. And you're seeing Trixie. This is one way to jump on a Weaver. He's coming in through the rear. Is he going to get it off? They need somebody to trigger off this. There's the Avalanche. Solo's coming in as well. Trixie's run around the entire way, and now you'll see Sidoi, and he does it on Goldblack again. They do not want this lead seat, and they can beat through Solo. Era, there's just too much damage on him. Avalanche toss, now BZZ. The Menacer will pop, so he breaks free with the Avalanche going through both Sidoi as well as the Viper. They want this Weaver. NoTel's right on top of him. Shikuchi's out. The dust way too late there. Trixie does that blink. Wisp ulti. Relocates up. They need to slow him down more. Living Armor bought him sometime. Amplify is there. And Era now gets a double kill. And completely unstoppable. It is a 10-1 Tiny at the moment.
Yeah, a big factor, I think, of that team fight, Yul actually used Weave on pretty much the Doom. When he like started looping around in the back, right, he threw down Weave, and then all of a sudden, like, where's your big amount of armor that you were supposed to have against that Tiny? I don't think he actually hit many of his allies with it, so that was kind of a small factor, but honestly, Fnatic, they did well enough their laning phase that even with a couple of good pickoffs by ROX.KIS, they still maintain far enough ahead that they could afford those sort of mistakes. Now you're beginning to see the late game Tiny coming into play. 25 minutes in, think about what 20 minutes from now, what it'll do. When he has the AC, when he has maxed out amplified damage coming into play to help out assist that damage.
Dude, just his Menacer illusions took so much life off that tower in the middle lane.
Yeah.
You want to put an Assault Cuirass on this guy?
He's going full Sand mode, by the way. He has a Blink Dagger and now going for a Force Staff.
It's the way to jump in, the way to push out.
Yeah, I mean, Slardar has been traditionally seen as a carry, but he is actually not a very strong carry whatsoever. He's much more of an anti-carry in many regards because of his jump in, his good strong initiation, but also his amplified damage is huge. I mean, you put that on a support hero, that support hero is OP as hell. Right, so Slardar being more of a utility role here is actually a very smart idea by Fnatic.
Fnatic are about to either trade or fight, or both. Era with the Hyperstone now up on him. He's just trying to take out the tower now. Trick's going to jump in, and Doom this time is on the Viper. Relocates on the way in. There is a decent weave, but this time Goblak gets a good ulti off with that lead sleeve, but it's not enough damage. It's a double kill for Era. We'll see BZZ die at the back end too. It's a triple kill, and GG. Ultra kill.
Hani, man. Hani had, I mean, that was a strong initiation, but the follow-up from Hani there with the 3-man stun, really well done by Fnatic. So they take it a quick 2-0. Not bad.
Yeah, and that keeps D2CL, Fnatic inside the D2CL. They'll level the score up with ROX.KIS now. They're both tied for 3rd position with 1 game left to be played for each of them. Now, Alliance, no matter what happens, they are through. Positioning-wise, that could change up, but that'll be done in the matchups. So either ROX.KIS are able to beat Alliance, and then Fnatic beat Sigma, and we have ourselves with basically a three-way tie would be what would happen in that scenario. Or ROX.KIS lose, Fnatic win, and then Fnatic advances their way through. That's the way it could happen. So there's more action to come up here for the D2CL, but that is at a later date. In fact, that later date being tomorrow, when we have ourselves Alliance's next game coming up, and this could in fact put them completely out of contention.